The free Photoshop course that you're about to watch is just a small part of our Adobe Graphics full course bundle. So if you also want to master Adobe Illustrator with my teaching style and also be able to acquire your certificate of completion, you can tap the first link in the description right now and get your access with a fraction of cost. Also mentionable that this course is brought up to you by the Takeoff College, the smartest alternative currently available to the traditional education. With all that being said, I'm very excited to get started, so let's go. Now we have another very important concept, again when it comes to layers, which is more about quality and same kind of stuff. So let's start like that. As I was starting this lesson, I was introducing Photoshop, and there I said that Photoshop is a raster design or raster graphic software. And in rasters, we will have changes in quality as we have a concept called pixels, and these pixels will make problems for us sometimes when it comes to quality. But in Photoshop, we can also have layers, have specific layers which have the characteristics of vectors. So when we resize them, their quality won't hurt. So what do I mean by that? Let me teach you by an example. I create another document over here. The size doesn't matter that much. So let me remove all the previous work that I've done. And by coming to File, I'm clicking Open. And inside my computer, as you see, we have the Takeoff College logo. So the logo is in PNG and it's transparent. So as you see, I'm having this chess style background, which means nothing, as we've talked about. So this is how nothing is said and is specified inside Photoshop. We call it transparency. So I click and drag this logo inside this document of mine, and as you see, this is a very big one. I have it over here as a layer. So first I zoom out, I press Ctrl T, Ctrl T, and I use these handles in order to make my logo as small as you see. So I press enter, and as you see, my logo has now become very, very small. It doesn't have the previous quality at all, you know. This was the previous quality. But now, as you see, this has become very small, and I resize it back to how big it was and press enter, and as you see, this is what we have. So in a pixel based concept, when we make an image smaller, we are decreasing the number of pixels to that image. So when we are making that image smaller, we are decreasing its quality. So when we want to bring the size back to how it was, this is what we will face. This dequalification, you know, the quality will decrease, and this can be a very bad thing in a lot of the times that we are using the software. So the solution to that is smart objects. Now let me drag this again and bring it over here. So this is what I have. Now in this layer 2, I right click on the layer in the layers panel, and I say convert to smart object. So by doing that, as you see, this little thing is added over here, which is the sign of this layer being a smart object. I zoom out, press Ctrl T, and again transform this one as well. So I make it smaller, very smaller. So again, I zoom in, and as you see, okay, the dequalification has happened, so the quality decreased again. But if I set it back to how it was, as you see, the quality isn't hurt at all, you know? So this is a very touchable, feelable example of what smart objects will do. So the concept of smart object is about keeping our design from any kind of quality hurts, as well as any other kind of a damage. For example, when you want to erase this layer, so I use eraser. You may not be familiar with it yet, but this is an eraser, you know, it erases. I'm going to talk about it as well. But if I choose eraser and try to remove a part of this layer of mine, as you see, it's working. But if I try the same tool on my smart object layer, as you see, it says this smart object must be rasterized before processing. So as you see, I cannot hurt this layer, you know. I can do my work with it, but I cannot do much with it, you know. It says do not touch me, it says do not hurt me, or even an effect. So you are not familiar with effects as well, but let me try something on it. So I say a filter, I want it to be blur. So these are concepts that we will go through later in our course. But for example, I want to make it blur just to make a point here. So I made it blur. I make it on the other one as well. So I make this one blur as well. So now, as you see, the effect that I created was added to my smart object as a layer over it. So like an adjustment layer, but an integrated adjustment layer, you know. I can remove it and my layer is still safe, you know. But on this layer, as you see, this is something that has been done. This cannot be undone at all. So these are the concepts and the points that make smart object a very important individual inside this layers panel. So if I double click on this smart object, as you see, I will be headed over to another document or to another project which is about this smart object only. So I can make any changes that I want over here. So for example, I draw something here, and if I come back to my main project, it will be applied. It just needs some times. Sorry, it just needs me to save it. So if I close it and press save, as you see, yes, all the changes are applied now. So this is what smart objects are all about.